it's just hard before you have kids. Once you have kids, everything that goes on in the world, everything, no matter what it is, if it's hard or you hurt or anything else, you go and you hug your kids. A lot of the leaders that have been around now, we're only 31 months old, my mini Casa, 31 months old. So some of those leaders from over there that have been selling for a while, let's see, our #1 agent right now is Amber Morgan. She makes a lot of money, but I don't want you to think necessarily about that. There's a road to get there, right? She's been doing the business for about 18 months. Last month she made 102,000 lei last month. So that's her personal income. So, but she's been doing it for 18 months. So don't think that there's not going to be a little bit of a process. And I know for some of you, as you build and you grow, there's one other phase that I didn't even know about until I got here. And then Radu and Alan told me a little bit about it. And that is, some of you speak amazing English as it pertains to movies, or songs that you hear on the radio, or church that you've maybe served a mission. But when it comes to the business part of things, you sometimes have to go to your leadership and ask for help, right? And so what's hard is that's extremely taxing on your leadership, because then your leadership also doesn't sell their own containers that they need in order to qualify for some of their training overrides for teaching you, right? And so we've had to come up with ideas for this. And we're gonna go over those ideas, and I think they're amazing ideas. And one of them is just real simple, so we figured out a way where anybody can now go direct to corporate to set up their corporation or get paid as a sole proprietorship. It's just a form you fill out and then you send in. If you don't speak good English and you, for container selling, and you need to lean upon a trainer, we've set up a special crew page on Facebook for you. And everything that goes on that special crew page, everything will be translated into Romanian and English. If Aaron goes live on that page, somebody will earn BBC credits to post on Craigslist for paid ads by translating into English what I said, and either the text above or overlaying it on my video so people know. And same for all of you. A lot of you will go on and role play on that to help out the new people coming in to learn English in the process. You'll get BBC credits that you earn to post on a paid site, and somebody will also translate English to Romanian and back and forth. And so we're going to do this in a lot of the European countries where maybe people heavily speak one language. I did ask around to a lot of places I went, and I discovered that most people across Europe, there's like, I want to say 37 major languages spoken in Europe, and probably even more than that. We are going to do more of this translation page type stuff. So we're very interested in that as well. So anyways, it's really good for breaking down some of the barriers on the human side of everything. So back to the story, right? Where did I leave off? My amazing wife, the kids. Oh, so my wife Julie and I have kids, the twins and Jaden. And in the process of having Jaden, my wife says, hey, this is an amazing thing. I've been on these Facebook pages getting help from other people all over the country. Can you help some people learn this business? And then they can also pay for their fertility, because fertility is not paid for. And so I was like, okay, sure. So in Utah, I helped 2 people right in Utah. And I helped them set up a business. I helped them post containers. I helped them make about $34,000 each, and they paid for their fertility treatments. And in the process of doing that, I learned a lot from them. And what they did differently, how they posted, and things they said, and things that they knew, like keywords and all sorts of stuff that I had no idea. And I started learning from them. All right. So I trained these people how to have kids. And then, or how to have kids, no, I didn't do that. I helped them get money so they could have kids. Yeah, right. So then, in the process, I'm like, man, this is a great idea. And I had an idea. And where the idea came from is, I got a bill from my wife's phone. And on the bill, there was $140 Apple Pay extra charges. And I said to my wife, I said, this is probably the first time I've looked at the phone bill in a while, and I'm like, hey, honey, what is this $140 of extra charges? And she's like, well, it's probably a couple songs. And I'm like, 140 songs are not even on your phone. And she's like, well, you're going to be mad at me. And I'm like, okay, might as well tell me what it is then. She's like, it's so easy to get 3 extra moves on Candy Crush for 99 cents. I literally like, what are you talking about? So, process of this, I heard that King software that's from Europe made $900 million in 1 month from people buying extra lives for 99 cents, or extra moves for 99 cents on Candy Crush. I was just like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. This is crazy. So I realized I had to build a software that could be so easy that anybody could use it from a phone. Because everybody most likely has a phone, probably doesn't have a PC. So I created the My Mini Casa tool, and we incorporated it in the business, and I went full-time April of 2016. In April, I sold $67,000 in revenue in containers, and by this time we were in 23 depots across the US and delivering containers. So then the craziest thing in the world happens to me, and I'm just learning. I'm soaking it all in, everything that's happening. In business, it's extremely crazy. You literally are training all these agents and reps. In the very beginning, we paid everybody 10% commission. And if you train somebody, we paid you 5% for that person. Probably by month 6, we realized that was not sustainable. So that's when we changed the market and everything else a little bit and how we would do it. So then, I want to say it was October, we had to make $600,000 just to keep the doors open of the business. And something I wouldn't have expected happens. Craigslist used to be completely free to post on. And then they went to paid posting. And so that month we did $230,000 in sales. Now I had to do $600,000 just to keep the doors open. So I was like, man, why was it so low? This is crazy to me. So it's the first time I started asking the agents, hey, where are you posting? How are you posting? What are you doing? I stopped telling people to post only on Craigslist. And some girl told me, well, I actually don't post on Craigslist, I post in Facebook groups. And I was like, okay, Facebook groups, interesting. So I jumped on Facebook groups, I looked around, and there was yard sales, there was horse lovers, there was farmers, there was hot shotters, there was everything you could imagine for groups on Facebook. And I'm like, wow, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. If you wanted to go and hang out with girls in your town, there was a girls group in your town. There was mommies going to the park in your town. I mean, everything you could ever imagine. And I'm just like, this is really interesting. So everybody started posting on Facebook. Well, I figured out what I was going to do with Craigslist, right? The next month, we still needed to make about $600,000. We didn't add anybody, and we did about $440,000. So at least it was an increase. And then we had to figure out a way to make Craigslist work. And so at the time, I had posted probably about 30 or 40 videos on either LinkedIn or Facebook or another platform that had gone viral. And to me, viral is 400,000 views, likes, or comments, okay? I'd say 100,000 is probably pretty viral. But what I noticed when I would post these, and so I posted one on LinkedIn at the time, and it was about some wolves going through Yellowstone, and it had an interpretation of what the picture was, and I saw it on Facebook. So I copied the picture and the text, went over to LinkedIn, I posted it on Thanksgiving, right before Thanksgiving break for everybody in the US. Thanksgiving break is always a 4-day holiday. So you have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday basically. So I posted it on Wednesday night, and then I took this interpretation and I made it businessy. So it literally was a dog that was out in front, oh, I have to find it on there. There was a dog that was out in front, or 3 dogs out in front, and I said, this is, in a business, this is your people that first forged your business. They were the ones who built it, learned all the crazy stuff that's gonna happen in business, all that stuff. Now your next 5 right behind that, those are probably your top sales guys or girls that are out there selling it and doing it for the business. Then the next 17 behind that are all the administrators, all the operational people that back up the business, because they're just as important too. And then the lone wolf in the very back, that's your alpha dog, right? Your alpha dog warns off attack. To me, that's your CEO that takes over after a 3rd generation business. 6,000, but at the very first I had 300. The next day there was 22,000 likes, comments, or shares on LinkedIn, a business platform. The next, where people hate stuff that's Facebooky, they hate it. The next day there was 53,000 people, and people from India and all over the world. And so I started going through the comments and seeing what was in the comments. 50%, over 50% of what was in the comments was Snopes or Reddit. Have you guys ever heard of that? Snopes or Reddit? So basically what happens is you post something online and somebody calls you out. And they're like, no, that picture has nothing to do with what it says there. It's a snopes, they're snopesing you. And I was like, huh, interesting. Well, what that person didn't realize when they snopesed me is that their friend loves wolves. And so they would go on and they would snopes me, and it would be 500 of their friends that would see it, or acquaintances or contacts on LinkedIn. And their friend would love wolves, and they would literally say, who cares what it is? That's a beautiful picture. Big elk that were fighting in Colorado, and there was this guardrail on the road in between them, and they were stuck in it. And I posted something like, isn't this like most fights where you go to fight with somebody, you just want to do that, somebody steps in the middle and they don't even understand what you're talking about? Something like this I posted. And I got like 1,300 comments or likes ever. And so I'm just like, man, what was it about that one post? And so then I just kept experimenting. I kept trying different things and just something, because it's pretty cool when something goes viral like that and then everybody comments, and all of a sudden the next day you have 1,000 friends and you don't even know who they are. But on LinkedIn this is a good thing, because you do it for business purposes and to get jobs and everything else. I'm going to teach all of you guys actually how to do LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile, it's one of my biggest things in the business. When I first started the business, I literally wanted the at-home mom that's trying to get pregnant, and that's what I targeted in the very beginning. I literally did a post on Facebook that was semi-controversial, right? So what was it? It was a pregnant girl holding a phone, and one of every race or color. Also a male hiking, one of every race or color, holding a phone. And it was all these pictures. And then it said, make up to $3,000 working from your smartphone. If you're interested, please email me your information and why you think you'd be good for the job, and it went to this email address. And then I posted it on Facebook, on this market crew company page I made, right? So then in the beginning, Facebook was a lot more free. It's not anymore. And I could target market anybody that liked anything. So I literally thought to myself, all these people that we had as agents, what were they? What were they about, right? Now, the reason this is important, even now to this day, about the business is because as you guys learn, and you're going to get to a level where we're going to help you set up corporate brands for your own containers. So My Mini Casa believes in fulfilled by My Mini Casa. Why do we do this? Because I want nothing more than for everybody here to experience everything I experienced. Everything. Meaning, I want you to start by selling 5 containers, or posting 5 ads a day. Then, after you post 5 ads a day, and you get some sales, I want you to train people and go through that experience of when that person calls you and says, hey, my container's not delivering fast enough, what do I do? And you go. 385 people applied to work here in this office in Romania. Andre hired 11. 143 he interviewed, which I thought was crazy, by the way. But 5-minute interviews on the phone, and he hired 11 of them. So, which is pretty cool. Did you go see if they had LinkedIn's?
Probably a third of them had LinkedIn's.
A third of them.
But when we had the interview with them, it was a requirement.
Did they?
Make LinkedIn.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So it's even here. I even told it to the employees yesterday before we went out and had a little meeting. Yeah, it's hard when an employee leaves. Absolutely. Especially a big employee like somebody in logistics. It's extremely hard, and it could hurt the company potentially. But to me, it's not. Today is today. Like me, I don't live to work. I work to live. And so it's the most important thing you can do is to make sure that it's just all you. It's not just one thing. It's just not this. You know, I want to see people develop in their families, in their communities, in their churches, and then, you know, their businesses as well. It's important, you know, and it really makes a better community everywhere we live. So, so we'll be helping you with your LinkedIn profiles, mostly so when people look you up, you can sell containers, but also, you know, if you want to change where you're working now, we can help you with some of that too and give some confidence. So, let's see. LinkedIn posting, gotta remember here. So LinkedIn posting, Facebook. We're going to, yes. Let's see here. How did I work on me? Let's just skip all the way forward to that. Oh, no, I remember. So, after we fixed the Craigslist thing, we started growing again. In February, Facebook went away from groups. So don't go post in the group. I talked about that. Don't go post in the groups. They will flag your account, shut you off, and you won't have access to pictures of your kids for 2 to 3 months. And all of you will think that it's my mini Casa's fault when we hacked your account. But I swear we didn't. But I really went through this. Imagine 80% of your business, probably about 400 women, who are blasting your company on the internet that were hacking people's accounts because they lost their Facebook pages. And it's because they were posting on Facebook doTERRA or all these MLMs and getting people off of Facebook to go somewhere else, and so they shut off everybody. I called a friend of mine that had 30,000 reps worldwide, and he said that 70% of his agents worldwide didn't have Facebook at the moment. I was just like, you gotta be kidding me, that's a good thing. So then we worked on that and helped build everything back. I didn't hear that Facebook Marketplace is going to paid ads soon, which is going to be another thing that we're going to have to work through. But that's why BBC will be so important. So BBC, business vesting credits. I learned that people oftentimes don't invest in themselves. Okay, I know we all think we invest in ourselves 100%. I've asked this question to a ton of conferences, and everybody says, well, I paid for college. So this is the one I always get, I paid for college. And I'm like, okay, great. So you saved up all the money, then you went and you paid for your college. Well, no, I got a student loan. So they didn't pay for themselves, they got a loan to pay for themselves. Make sense? It's okay though. We're all human. I agree with it. I have an agent right now that makes an unbelievable amount of money, and she still won't buy her own Craigslist ads. Crazy to me. But Erin, who loves for people to just go do good, she will go to an orphanage or to a homeless youth shelter. She will buy, with her money that she made, a cart full of shoes, take it to a youth homeless shelter, and donate it to get BBC that's less money than the shoes were. It's so weird, but I love it. It's this crazy phenomenon, and so we created BBCs. Andre, on July 29th in San Francisco, I was a little too busy with some back-to-back meetings. He went to San Francisco and stood on stage with Amazon and accepted an award called the World Pillar Awards. We got this award because we have an array of, from at-home moms to CEOs, and we invented something called social credit. And he had thanked so many people, and first and most important, all along with the lines, he also thanked drivers. Because at the end of the day, our boxes have to get delivered, right? So, Gabrielle asked me yesterday, and I didn't get to his question, I'm sorry, on how does the delivery work. So, I will talk about that and all the other Q&A questions that we have. I met Andre by chance one night. I literally, so in the US, I think everywhere, but there's equality in hiring, and you hire boys and girls, but for some reason, girls always go out for these assistant or secretary positions, probably 9 to 1. And my wife, so that I'd be traveling and doing rallies and conferences and everything else, my wife would kill me if my assistant that was traveling with me was a female. She would kill me. So I prayed, and about 2 months after looking for the right person, I posted I needed somebody bilingual, I needed all these things. Andre was on LinkedIn at 2:30 in the morning, and he said, hey, I'm currently looking to move to Salt Lake City with my wife. He'd lived abroad as a coach, I thought. And so I was like, yeah, I love this. He attended BYU. I don't know where in the world he attended BYU, but he attended BYU. And so I'm like, okay, this is a good one. He's coming home. We're good. So I reached out to him, and at 2:30 in the morning, he wrote back like that. And I'm like, yes, and he's a workaholic like me, right? And so he writes back, and then he's like, hey, can we DM you? And I still have the post. I keep it because it's an amazing memory. But I told him, I said, hey, you have an impressive background. What is it you're looking to do? And then he writes back, he's like, you have an impressive background too. And I said, if money didn't matter, if money wasn't a matter, what would you love? What would be the thing you would do forever? And he wrote back and he said, a seminary teacher or an elementary teacher. And so I felt really good about it. I said, okay, great. When can we get together? When are you moving? He says, well, I'll be there next week. I said, great, let's meet next week. And he's like, well, there's a lot of people that are responding. Is there any way we could Skype? And I'm like, okay, sure. How about 10 a.m. tomorrow? And he's like, well, that'll be 2:30 a.m. my time. I'm like, oh, great. What did I do? So then I thought to myself, where are you? He's like, well, I'm from Romania. So then we met online. And here's why I said that. It's extremely hard in the US to get somebody a working visa. Extremely hard. And it's a 9-month process. So he came over, I met with him, I then reached out to a couple of consultant friends of mine and who have hired foreign after they've come here and served missions, and then they love the people and they hire foreign. I asked them what I could do. They helped me set it up in the right process, and for the next 9 months, Andre was pretty much my best friend. We traveled everywhere. I got to know him, how him and his wife met on Skype, dated on Skype, and their first kiss was like the week before they got married, which is crazy. In traveling, I found out that his mom was an amazing woman and influencer here, and I just got to know who he was and fell in love with the Romanian culture and the people and everything else, and I'd never met anybody from Romania. And so I had this little joke that I recently said, I was inspired to say actually at church last week, and I would say, I said a prayer and God sent me a Romanian, so. But I'm happy to be here. We're gonna grow and do a lot of great things here. I'm super excited to be here. I was in Yosh and I met some great people in technology, IT. So when I come back next time, November, middle of November, we're gonna look to open up an office in Yosh as well for some IT programming. Amazon has a place here and they have programmers, and I figured out why not? If we wanna take on Amazon, we might as well, right? So let's get to your guys' questions, huh? Yeah.
So let's ask, Gabriel had this question with the delivery process, right?
Who's not signed up? 6, 7, 8? Cool. Nice. Okay, great. So, most important, when you sign up, all of our programs are 100% free. Always. Okay? That's why we have BBC. That's why so literally what happens is anybody here that you know that brought a phone number, you don't have to use up somebody in the US anymore. You can just do it through a thing called Telos and get a phone number for US calling. So people, when they buy containers, they don't want to call international if you're selling in the US. We are developing Europe, but it'll take a little bit of time. We've had some success already, but it'll take a little bit of time to develop it and be ready for it. So we're going to slowly beta test a few people that have been selling in the US to sell here, and then we'll grow it here faster. So in the meantime, you get a US phone number, you post your address, you fill out a WBN eventually. Don't do it right off the bat, right? From the very beginning when I posted, I didn't bring on my family members, okay? Right now in the US, there's about 200 to 300 people that are probably still waiting for a trainer, and we'd be happy to post them and put them on people's teams. After, if you aren't ready for the English side of it, as soon as you're ready for the English side of it, then we'll put them on your teams, and then until then you'll learn and then roll over. But the reason I didn't do families and friends is because in Utah there's like 4,400 registered MLMs. MLMs or even containers. If you go to your family events and you force your business on your family, it's extremely hard. And even though your family really wants to do it, that's not what they got together with you guys for. Promise. So instead, don't talk about containers. Instead, go to the Christmas Eve party and wear container pajama pants, and people are going to think they're funny and they're going to ask you about it. And then you're not forcing that on your friends and family, right? Or whatever it may be at the time. There's plenty of people to sign up and help you. If people sign up and you help them as a trainer, it's my favorite part of the business. I love the newbie sell, I think that's cool. I'll give you a thumbs up or a like. But my favorite part is when one of the trainers here is told by their newbie that just got a sell, oh my gosh, I did it. This is the coolest thing ever. And a trainer sends me a text message and says, wow, this is pretty amazing. That's the thing I love. That's what I work for every day. It's not money, it's not anything like that. It's literally that piece of it. So if you had that to me, I know Andre and Matt would hate this because they know how important it is to grow. But if you had it my way, I would take all the money besides what I need, which is my little money to survive, and I would invest it all into BBC. So, all right, so that's how you get signed up. Then, the simple requirements of doing this business successfully is 5 ads. You post 5 ads a day, and you create a habit of it. So as you're going to bed, instead of playing Candy Crush or watching YouTube or whatever else you do, just post 5 ads. Your trainers and teams on our pages will show you where to post those 5 ads. All right? And then just stay consistent. Different people have different ways of posting ads. Try everything. You know, that's the biggest thing you can do is, I really believe that life is about cheat codes, right? It's all about who can get from point A to point B the fastest. And there's a lot of people out there that talk about millennials right now, right? Millennials don't want to work, they don't want to do this, they don't want to do that. I hear this all the time. My mom is 67 years old. She's a millennial. Why? You know what a millennial is? Somebody who checks the notifications on something they posted at least 6 times in a day. That is a millennial to me, right? So we created a system that's fun. You get in the system, you jump people on the system for rankings or daily stuff. You earn BBC credits by doing social good, and you have a lot of fun. So we created it that way. All right. I think we're in the best world we've ever been because of the fact that we have all these millennials that go and they serve their Christian missions or whatever their mission is all over, and then they come home and they want to do some better in the world. And so to me, like, I hear about this all the time. People are like, oh, the world is corrupt, the worst thing that could ever be. I think we're in the best time we could be for that reason. And so there's a lot of people that want to do stuff. Every now and then after you've helped a few people or you've done some training, you're going to have somebody who posts something on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or whatever the platform is, and they're going to say, man, I have no idea how I'm going to make it this month. That's somebody who needs help. I have no idea how I'm going to pay for this car that just broke down. That's somebody that needs help. Can somebody give me a ride to the doctor's? That's somebody that needs help. And so when the time is right, I encourage that at that time you maybe reach out and tell them, hey, in private, so it's not out to everybody. Hey, have you ever heard of my mini Casa or something like that? Or whatever the side hustle might be. It might be Uber, if you guys have Ubers at some point. So whatever the side hustle might be. I love that you guys have rideshare, by the way. That is so cool. Like, people just go there and then like pick them up and stuff. I've learned so much here. All right, so posting. The best places to post right now. We just add this to the page later. We have only have a pen and paper over here. I like this. Best places to post right now are the entire north of the U.S. And the exact ad that you should post right now is something like fall sell or fall closeout or selling fast before the snow falls.
Or harvest sell.
Yeah, harvest sell, something that alludes to winter's coming, more or less, right? Because the majority of people that buy stuff, storage, they're buying it to keep it out of the snow or out of the rain, right? So the northern states are on fire right now. Like, literally, we talked about this, I posted the other day, and you should go in and look. I'll show you here in a second. Like, Seattle is blown up.
Washington.
It blew up. It was crazy. So go and post in those areas, northern state areas, all right? Let's see, where else is super hot right now? Texas is hot right now.
Houston is crazy.
Texas is hot right now because so many people in the U.S. were saving all their containers for a hurricane season that never came. And so right now, it's amazing times to sell Texas. There's a lot of containers for delivery. We have a lot of great trucks. It's one of the easiest places to find drivers when oil's not hot and we're still not quite there for oil. It's cool that you guys have the first oil refinery in the world right here. It's really cool. So I'm also going to apologize for the U.S. dropping bombs on Ploiesti. I'm just like, don't tell me this. But let's see. What else? Okay, so that's where you post, right? All right, the hardest questions when you sell, and then we'll get to delivery. The hardest questions when you sell are, can I come and see it? All right? We need to create a video that I've seen. We'll probably copy and paste it. It's Mark Craycraft's video on what happens in an industrial stuff. And it's literally, it's great. You literally, in the course of like 3 minutes, see 40 trucks come into a facility, load a container onto there with these big automated machines, and then leave. We can't go pick out containers or see them because of this, right? So whenever somebody says that to them, you literally can say, we're a wholesaler. You can't see it when you pick it out, but if you want to pay 33% more, you can oftentimes go do this. Or, and this is the clincher, okay, you want to pick it out, great, no problem, we can do that. Literally, you need to say that, we can do that. Who do you know that owns a truck or a trailer that you can borrow? Tell them that. Who do you know that owns a truck or trailer that you can borrow? Okay, why though? I want it delivered. Well, if you want to pick it out, you have to go get it. Because there's these big trucks and trailers and machines that load everything, and literally when you get there and you check in, you have to get in your truck. You still have to wear an orange safety vest and steel-toed boots, and you have to get back in your truck. Then you drive exactly where they say, you sit there, you wait till they put the box on your trailer. When they put it on, you can get out for 3 minutes. You walk around, you inspect your box, you can't even strap it up. You get back in the truck, you drive to the gate, and then you strap up your truck before you go deliver. That's the process for sending the containers out. And this is why people can't pick them out, right? Now, we do have places in the US now where people can pick them out, but the boxes cost 33% more to go pick out your container, all right? And there's only 2 right now. So we want to add more. It's cool to add 9 this year, but there's only 2 right now. So, and if they want to pay 33% more, that's what pays for us to have a depot and the cost of overhead for those things. Make sense? Most people will say they've seen boxes, they know what they look like, right? You could tell them to go buy paint. It's like 80 bucks to paint their box if they wanted a different color. So there's those options. It's probably the hardest objection to get over, going to see it. It probably is. The next hardest one is, well, I don't want to pay till you deliver. This one comes up a lot as well. If they say this, that means there's an intent to pay already in their mind. Immediately transfer it to corporate. Immediately. Just get paid, no problem. And somebody on the phone will give them, and they'll ease all their fears and pain right over the phone. It's the best in the world. So, if you have these people that I don't know, if it's on Facebook and they're like, well, how do I know you're a real company? Literally say, well, can I have your phone number? I'll give you a call. So, call them, and then while you're on the phone with them, say, great, let me send you a real invoice or a real estimate that's going to come to you. And then I'll put you on the phone with real people on an 800 number that call you. You can then also go and look at our reviews online. They're going to say this. They always are, and so you need to be prepared. If they go to the reviews and you don't say this, they're going to say, well, I read your reviews and they all suck, so there's no way I'm going with you. That's what they're going to say. So instead, what you need to say is, if you don't believe we're a real company, go read the reviews. Just keep in mind that we sold 17,000 containers last year, and you're only going to find about 400 or 500 on there. And while probably 60% of them are good reviews, some of them complain sometimes. Because if anybody tells you it's perfect, it never is. Every container company in the US averages about 88%, no claims, no problems. But there's still 12% where it does. My Mini Casa, however, does it at 94%. And we're actually working on a really cool program that we're not ready to release. It'll be awesome if we can get it out. We'll be the only container company that guarantees quality of box with 100% rejection and no pay on delivery if they reject. We're working on it though. It's in beta test because it's extremely expensive if it's sold wrong. So we're working on it. I'm confident we'll roll it out in the next 3 to 6 months. But okay, let's see. Other main objections that we get. Let me think. What are some you guys get? I want a discount. That happens on every order, doesn't it not? If it doesn't happen on an order where somebody messages you, it's what we call a unicorn. If somebody just calls you and says, I want to buy it, when can you get it here? That's called a unicorn customer. No objections, they're just ready to go. And there's more unicorns happening actually. There's so many unicorns happening that we have a new apparel designer for some, we need a little bit of refreshing stuff. And she literally last night sent me, hey, what do you think about this? And it's literally a unicorn farting a rainbow that says something like, My Mini Casa, the unicorn hunter, or something like that. And I'm like, it's interesting, I like that. Or they have a unicorn doing a dab. I think that's what they called it, right? A dab, where you do like this or something. Anyways, and they're gonna make pajama pants out of it. And I'm just like, that's a great idea, I like that. So, a couple different thoughts or ideas there. Let's see. Okay, so unicorn guys, yeah, those are the ones that don't. When you negotiate, all right. So when you post your ads, it might contradict some trainers what they said. Apologize if I
No,
did.
you're good.
Okay.
I'm just hoping that, can I just say something?
Yep.
I mean, Aaron is obviously thinking ahead of things. You may have seen something on My Mini Casa, you may have expected a different kind of discussion. So if he's thinking ahead, jump with your questions ahead. So ask questions to the topic or
Yes.
interrupt him or say, hey, how about what you said before? And,
Please do.
you know?
Yep.
Because maybe some of the terms you may have not, or acronyms you may not have understood or whatever.
Yes, I agree. Please ask lots of questions
Right.
in the process. Let's see. So on price, if you're posting on Craigslist or on Facebook, if I send out a map, which I will, I'll send out a map of where everybody posts. If you post in an area that has, let's say on the map, right? If you have posted in an area that has 20 dots on the map per state, you need to post right at tool. Whatever the tool cost is, post right at tool. Always do customer unload. Now I know that Radu said roll off. I'm gonna coach you guys on how to do this, okay? Customer unload or pickup is how you always should post your prices if you're gonna put the full price. If you're gonna post for $1, that's fine. But, and Radu's not wrong, because here's the thing, you're less likely to get somebody to negotiate with you if you don't want to negotiate, it feels uneasy if you post roll off delivery, because that's gonna be the most expensive professional unload there is, right? So you're least likely to get somebody to negotiate with you in that situation, okay? But I'm gonna teach you how to add value into your sell, because a lot of people online on Facebook and stuff, or Craigslist, they'll literally text you and you'll close containers. But it's probably 8% if I had to put it, you know? It's not very often, right? So you need to be good at being on the phone a little bit. And when you go and you call or you do something, you need to build a relationship. It's so important, right? So relate with somebody, right? How do you relate? Literally, Facebook has everything you could imagine. You can go on and you can type in Boston, Massachusetts, and it'll tell you what goes on in Boston, Massachusetts. Everything you could imagine. So relate with somebody, you know, ask them the easiest way, so you don't have to do all this research about where people are posting and that type of stuff if you've never been to those locations. The easiest way to relate to somebody is the simple question, great, what do you plan on using it for? Okay? Why do you ask that question? Let's say that this person says to them, well, I want to store my welding equipment. Now, they're never going to say it just that way, but it'd be awesome. I want to store my welding equipment. Okay, great. So, you weld? Well, yeah, it's my welding equipment. Of course I weld. Okay, great. So, you'd be okay if I sent you an as-is box or a salvaged one with some holes and you can repair it? It's the cheapest box we sell. Well, yeah, that'd be great. But let's say that somebody says, from what do you plan on using it for? And they literally say, well, to store my files or my boxes. Okay, great. By chance, do you weld? You know what I mean? That could be in there, but I wouldn't ask it right there. Here's what I would say then. What do you plan on using it for? Well, I want to do my boxes or whatever. Okay, great. What size were you looking for? Well, I was looking for this size. Okay, what quality were you looking for? New, used, or as is. I don't use the word salvage, even though it says that in the system. I use the word as is, okay? New, used, or as is. Well, probably just the one that's cheapest. Okay, great. Well, if it's the one that's cheapest, we're gonna go with the one that's as is, but this one is gonna have some holes in it. Do you know how to use JB Weld or a Bondo to patch? Nope, I don't. Okay, great. We should probably go with the used container then, right? Now, you're qualifying them and you're adding value right there, okay? You're not gonna sell them a piece of crap box. You're adding value, right? So they already like you, I promise. Then, you want to ask some more questions, right? So, when this container delivers, will it be you or your assistant that the driver needs to call beforehand? Well, it'll be me. Okay, great. What's your phone number? Okay, this is my phone number. All right, great. When you deliver, what's the address where we will deliver it? And you give the address, put it in, right? And then you say, okay, when it delivers, which way would you like the doors facing? And it's my favorite one I always get. I like it facing to the east. Okay, great. So, which way does the door of your house face? Also, okay, so let's just think. When I'm backing in my truck, I'm backing in. Does the east face the truck or the trailer? Oh, it faces the truck. Okay, great. So you want the doors facing the cab of the truck, right? So that's what we say. Now, so many people that sell containers have no idea they have to ask this question. And so literally, people that jump into the business, jump in, and then the doors were facing the wrong way. So by asking this, it actually makes you sound knowledgeable, and it's right in the system. Which way do you want the doors facing? Make sense? So then you want the doors facing the cab or the trailer. Okay, great. Now, at delivery, are there any special instructions? Like here in Romania, I would say, how wide is the road we're delivering on, right? Or is there enough space where a truck can pull out from under the container 120 feet? So all good questions to know. What type of ground are they delivering on? And so there's a notes box underneath the order. You just post that all in there, all right? And then something that's coming out that Amazon tried to hold it off for as long as possible, but then ask them, are you a business or are you an individual? And they're gonna say, well, I'm a business. Great. Do you have a sales tax exemption number, or should tax be included in this purchase? All right? So you put all those things in, you hit save, you get an invoice number, right? Now, when that invoice number comes, if you mark the invoice up, you get 50% of the upcharge, plus an extra 5% we found out recently. So you get 50% of the upcharge, and you get 5% on the total invoice amount. And so that's how you get paid your commissions. You're paid on the 15th and the 31st. And then if you train somebody, to me it's called pay it forward. If you pay it forward for free, help them as well, you get paid a trainer override. That comes on the 15th of every month as well, right? Here, those will all come through TransferWise. We can send a paper check if you'd like. The only thing...
There's no way to use it here.
Oh, there's no way to send it to the paper check? No?
No,
It's all coming through TransferWise then?
We can use paper checks, but it's difficult for the banks.
Especially if it comes from the US?
No, it's not a problem. We have
Okay.
clients, but
So you work at the bank?
I will use
Oh, we should talk.
I like it. Good. So, there's anyone there here? I know, it's for taxes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it's for. So, here I don't know what it's called. What the form you guys had here?
Well, it's just like a contractor from basically that where taxes will be paid.
Yeah, yeah. So,
You are.
Despre legală care lucrezi la PTA sau SRL.
Okay.
So is it mandatory to work with the FRA or salary? That's an important question, I think, for.
Ca să că noi plătim taxele aici, că lucrăm de România. Ei plătesc taxele state,
Okay,
dar
no.
nu serviciile.
Is it mandatory to have?
Have a company, a legal entity.
no, it is not mandatory to have.
Because your trainer will have one.
If we have,
No, your trainer doesn't have to have one. I met with Rich yesterday. Your trainer doesn't have to have one.
then
You have to fill out one of two forms. You either have to fill out the W8BEN, which is a sole proprietorship form. So you fill out that form, and it's your name, your address, and your information. And then what happens is I hold that form. At the end of the year, I have to send that form with all of my stuff to the U.S. tax on everybody that I paid more than $599 US to. So I send that form, and then whatever I paid you or anybody here, I have to send that. Now, I don't know how taxes work in your own country, but the way it works for the U.S. on that W8BEN is all of you are considered marketers for the U.S. That's what it is. So on that form, you basically fill out that form, and then we pay you guys, and then we have to send out that form and fill that. Currently, right now in the U.S., I only have to hold back a tax in the event that you operate as a foreign person on U.S. grouping. I have to hold back a tax from your wages I pay you, right? But here, you have to do your own taxes.
Yes, here.
Because we have an office in Romania now, you have to do your own taxes here. So, you need to set up 2 bank accounts. This is what I always recommend. So, I don't know if we can do this on TransferWise, but this is what we do for the U.S. In the U.S., all of the agents, we literally pay, for most of them, we pay like 70% into one account, 30% into the other. And oddly enough, the 30% account we recommend is ING, which is here. And the reason is because in the U.S., it takes 6 days to get that money out of ING if they want to spend it. So, if you're going to spend the government's money, it's really risky and you're going to get big trouble. So, if there's an emergency and you feel like you need the government's money more than the government needs it, it takes you 6 days to get it in the U.S. I recommend that you guys set it up that way so that when you get paid, you know that money goes to the government. Because the government always needs to get their money.
Yeah,
Right.
In Romania, you can take it out anytime you want.
Do what?
In Romania, you can take it out anytime you want. It doesn't take 6 days.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is, if maybe what you do is you go and you get an app called Acorn or Fidelity, and a part of your wages, because I imagine you pay taxes here too, right?
Yeah, once a year.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
Cool. So however you guys do it, I'm sure Andre and we'll work through it,
That's
right?
every single person's problem. They'll have
I know, but you
file
should
taxes.
advise them.
What's that?
But
You
just
should
understand.
advise them because this is really important. Once a year, you have to pay them. If you don't save this 30 amount,
Yeah.
30%, you will have some problems in next year. You know, they will.
It's the exact same. So, I do know though for me, I can't personally advise, but we hired an accountant and attorney here in Romania that we spoke with, right?
But
So-
it's not very complicated.
So in the event that you guys need help there, we have somebody you can business as well, so it's fun.
But we will be paid by the Romanian company?
You will be paid by the US company directly. Yep.
It's not a possibility that we will be paid by the Romanian company.
There's no difference for you.
Hmm?
There's no difference for you.
Like,
It's
the
a
only
difference for them.
difference is you have to have a foreign account, first of all, and second of all, it will take 2 days longer than the Romanian one.
Yeah, the money.
There might be a possibility, I just know that it's, from everything that we've been advised on, it's better if we pay from the US to you, because it's a marketing expense.
Yeah.
If we pay from the US to the Romanian company, then it falls under a different category, and we have to hold 16% out of your pay commissions, because we get taxed paying Romania company that then pays you as well if it's over €1 million. Before that, they've given us a tax incentive, basically, but.
Okay, Aaron, can I just summarize this? So if you pay any agent on his or her legal entity, do you withhold taxes?
So as of right now, we do,
How much?
but it's paid through your sister's company, right?
But
But
that's
that's
not
what's
gonna,
changed.
how long is that gonna work? I mean, she,
No, it's
takes-
fine
No.
from now on.
No, we can do it right now.
Right,
It's all set up.
how much,
We don't withhold anything.
you're not withholding,
So currently, right now, we were withholding 21%, so you
Good.
currently got a 21% rate.
So, my recommendation is that, you know, if you have a legal entity in Romania, use it to be paid through that.
Yeah.
And if you pay an agent as, you know, through his
So
persona,
much
how much do you withhold?
If we pay an agent, we won't pay an agent under the WABN, but before we would withhold 21%.
Right now,
So
you don't know
there
what
is no withholding of it.
She just paid,
There's no, we just pay, whatever the amount is at the end, it will transfer right through TransferWise on the 15th and the 31st. So,
So you
Does
just need, it has to
someone
be
else,
without, it just has to be
You
just
see the
No, but that's what I'm
PFA
saying, if you
hours.
don't, that's what I'm saying, if you as an
Or-
agent who doesn't have a company here,
we can send it to an individual, right? We did send TransferWise to individuals, right?
and you no longer withhold it.
Yes, but the
No,
taxes
we
are-
no longer will withhold
Doesn't
anything once the
matter.
form's filled out.
What?
Not before the form's filled out, you have to fill out the
Yeah,
form.
of course you have to fill
Yeah.
the form.
So then once the form's filled out, we won't
Okay.
withhold.
Yeah, then you report to IRS, and IRS will probably inform Romanian fiscal authorities because
Yeah, before you,
Yeah, because
it
of course,
usually
yeah,
happens
actually-
like 3 or 4 years, like you
Yeah,
need
we
to
rec-
do
sooner
your
or
taxes.
later.
We recommend that you do taxes as
Yeah.
a legal person, but also as a person with no legal entity.
But I'm gonna tell you this, this stuff is always scary to somebody who's not familiar with business. Always. Working for an hourly wage is hard. Much harder than, I don't know, do you guys get money back at the end of the year after you pay your taxes? Do you get money back?
No.
You don't? Oh, this is gonna be easy for you guys then. This will be easy. So in the US, you get money back if you pay. And so everybody loves this big savings check. And so when I go to rallies and I explain to them that, hey, you own a business now, you don't get that money back, and you have to pay your taxes, all of them are like, wait, what? I don't get my big tax return at the end of the year? And I'm like, you could save money like other people, I guess, you know, so it's funny. But if you guys don't get anything back, it's easier, I think. But this part's not scary. Get with one of the trainers or leaders just to make sure you're doing it right and make sure you pay
don't
that stuff.
overcomplicate things.
Okay.
It's, I mean, I've done business here for a long time, it's so easy, just don't overcomplicate.
We just wanted to clarify this.
Yes, yes. But I'm glad that there's people there that look out. The other thing I love about Romania is like, Andre is my sole translator. And I can tell when he negotiates like the faces he makes, so even though I can't understand most of it, I know what he's doing, right? But what I love is I went to the bank, and the bank literally said to me, hey, do you want access to the online banking, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I was in a rush, so I can set it up later. And then she like redirected me, and then like he talked to her, and then she's like, no. She like ignored him and talked to me, and I'm just like, man, I love the Romanian people. It's good, right? Just in case somebody was like trying to take advantage of me, she wanted to make sure, and I was like, I promise we'll be okay. So anyways, let's see here. Okay, what should we talk about next?
after we have the
Go ahead.
objection with discount, how do you react to the objection with discount?
How do I object to the
I want a discount.
object to the reaction of
I found
discount?
I found it cheaper elsewhere.
Great. So here's how I always react. Great. Can you tell me what kind of container you're buying?
Better than yours,
Better than mine.
for sure.
Great. What's the name of the company? Let's look at their reviews.
That's I'm not gonna say. This is
You're not gonna
none of your
say?
business.
So
None of
that-
your business.
What's that?
None of your business.
None of your business? Okay, well, I am on Craigslist every day looking at my competitors. And in your area, I've called every single one, and I've only posted on Craigslist or Facebook. So right now, I'm confident that I'm probably better than every single one except for NCon. And NCon, if you go look at their reviews, is about 67% negative. We guarantee our boxes won't leak, and the doors work for 30 days. We guarantee it. And if you want to pay an extra $199, we'll guarantee it for a year.
It says as in the contract.
Every single time. You should be looking at your competitors. not only should you be looking, you should be calling on the phone your competitors and saying, hey, and listen to how they sell to you. Watch how they send you follow-up invoices and emails and everything else. Watch how they do it. Learn from them. Because quite frankly, if we can become better than our competitors, or at least learn what they do, we can be better. Right now, if you get ones that are cheaper, great. Send them to Andre. Let him know. His whole job is to make sure that our rates are the best in the country. You know why I don't like MLMs? Because it costs money to get in. Their products are 3 times as much as everybody else's. Not us. We're 85% the cheapest in the whole US all the time. 85%.
That's because you're not an emergency.
Yes, correct.
So, but you also have, I mean, going hand in hand with what you said, yeah, you truly have to speak with that customer and make sure the quote he received from the other company. So you are comparing apples to apples and apples to oranges, like.
Is it new? Used?
Yeah, and like, what kind of container? Like, how do you know it's good? You know?
Is delivery included? What kind of
Delivery, yeah. What type of delivery is it? When do they deliver? Do they have the container in stock? Are you gonna wait 5 months to get their container, or will you wait 2 weeks? So there's a few things that you can.
But rather than be combative when you do, say, hey, great, no problem. So to me, and then, hey, great, no problem, let's walk through it. So, here's what we offer, benefits, right? Now, do we have benefits listed somewhere in English and Romanian?
Well, down.
Somebody please remind these guys when we're gonna do that, English and Romanian, so you guys understand. So benefits are what? What are the benefits?
Well, 30-day money back or what?
30-day money back guarantee. 87%, what percent of the country right now is roll-off delivery guaranteed? No, no extra charge.
Probably, yeah, more than 80%.
80 to 90% is a roll-off all the time, right? Now,
I mean, it's unloaded.
Yeah.
Put
Yeah.
them on the location
Correct.
where the customer wants.
right.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
that's
honestly, when I was selling containers,
I'll show what it looks like.
yeah, I would tell the customer that there is a huge chance that he will get the roll-off, but in case he doesn't have an anchor point, will you please find one?
Everybody, Craig at My Mini Casa. Today we're going to do a self-unload using a pickup truck. You want to keep them tight, that way the chain don't get caught underneath it when it comes down on the ground.
Looks pretty even now.
Utah, the beautiful Utah.
Right.
How big is that one? 24 or 20?
20. But nothing happens with the container though.
After this video, Andre grew out a man butt.
Of a truck. Because he said he
You
cannot.
can anchor it.
So, yes, but on the 45 in the system, we required a roll-off for a long time.
Yeah.
We required that.
Oh, the 45.
45, yeah. So
Yeah,
usually you can do the customer unload for the 45, just for the
I recommend that
40.
we still do a roll-off over anything else on a 45. But it's not required that you put it in the system. You can put a customer unload in, doesn't matter. So either one, but I recommend that you don't do a customer unload. We don't sell 53s anymore. It's the most sought after box in America, a 53-foot container, and the reason is because it's 6 inches wider inside. And so a lot of old car collectors store their cars in them, and they can actually open the door and get out rather than falling out the window inside.
Hay que modificar.
We do offer a school in the US you can come to and go through. It's $12,000, it's a 3-week you how to build an inter-home container. So those guys were guys that came up from Albuquerque, and now they have a big facility in Albuquerque, and they do boxes for us there. Fabrication. Our biggest seller of fabricated boxes in the U.S. is Dave Kaiser.
He only sells this kind of boxes.
Was that?
He only sells fab board.
Yeah, pretty much always
Big
those
guys.
guys.
Because you can also post ads saying that we can do whatever you want with the container. Doors, windows, shelves.
But you better, if you do sell those, that you post them with that on there, because people want to buy whatever they're looking at usually, so just put on there what you want to do and then have all the add-ons.
You should have a contest.
Okay?
You should have a contest.
Contest, yeah. But you guys make so much more money if you sell a container like this. Between $10,000 to $20,000, you make 5% of that. It's like.
But I'll tell you, the top 10 sellers in this company have never, no, I think the top 5 sellers in this company have never sold a fab, or maybe only one. They only sell raw box.
I've never sold a fab.
Why don't you
Kind of this application.
So,
And they sold this stuff.
And they only sold 20s and 40s used. That's all they sold. All the items. Embrace the space.
that's our corporate office, that's our break room, our corporate office. Maybe one day we'll have it really nice. Okay, that's done. Okay, this is the system that you log into every day. Well, I'm in the advanced system, that's okay. So this is what I log into every day. Well, I'm gonna show you guys the back end. So here's all it is in the US, 85%. Then the next thing that we'll do that excites me, and it's gonna probably be out in about, so over the next year, there's 9 locations that the container costs the most. Those locations, and so if it's the most, usually we stay away from those areas. But when I tell that to everybody at all these rallies, guess what happens? Nobody sells in those areas. And then you go and sell in those areas because they don't show up on the map for dots, we call it. And then you're likely to sell a container even though it's $4,000 or whatever, and you make more money. So I'll tell you.
That's what I did. I only focus on Arizona, New Mexico, California. Nobody sold there, but I was selling there. And one container was like $4,000.
44, El Paso, Texas.
Yeah. Andre was let's see, by Andre's 3rd month, he did about 150,000 in sales. So pretty good growth. And all he did was sell those areas. And not only did he sell those areas, but remember, he upsold the areas. Like I said earlier, if there's not a lot of dots, 20 dots in an area, you can upsell it and already have your negotiation price in there, so you can make a little bit more money, right? Here's the other way that I always see if there's more money in it when you ask all those qualifying questions and stuff, is let's say that you post, I'll go to this other thing real quick, and then I'll come back to these dots. I'm gonna go pull up our map. So here's all the deliveries. We have 356 deliveries to make in the next 10 days of containers. Alright, so here's the map of all of our locations. All these yellow locations are where the drivers pick up the boxes, okay? So let's say that you posted an ad and, alright? Somebody calls you and they want this container, right? And when they call you, they're living in Topeka, Kansas, right? Now, that is probably, we're gonna say that's about 60 miles closer, right? So when you posted that ad, you posted Manhattan. So because it's 60 miles closer and still over 100 miles from Kansas City, that box is actually $240 less right there. But this is what, it's so important. When people call, I usually say to them, before I say, hey, can I get you a quote? I say, great, which ad are you calling on? Which of my ads are you calling on? Oh, I'm calling on this 40-foot that I see here for $3,400. Okay, great. And I'm like, so to confirm a delivery, what zip code would it be delivered to? They give me the zip code. Now I go in and I pull it up and the price has dropped. Am I gonna tell them that right then? No. Don't tell them that. Instead, go all the way through the process of they say, great, I'm gonna buy it. You just made all that money in upsell, right? But if they say to you, well, I was really wanting it for like $3,000, right? Negotiation 101 is people always ask for double what they actually are willing to take, right? So, say to them, okay, you want $3,400. Let me see what I can do. Hold on. Now, what are you looking at right now? Absolutely nothing. You're just putting them on ice, we call it. Okay, let me look. Hold on. Go in. Okay.
So sometimes I type. I put the phone like on the keyboard.
Yeah, I like that. Well, if you want the doors facing the cab of the truck, I can't put anything inside of it to help with delivery. Yeah, it could be facing the rear. I'm good with that. Okay, great. Put the phone down. Interesting. All right. Okay, looks like we could do 32, 80, 67. Right? Now, you already had $240 of money in there potentially, right? But you're now only giving them $110 off, or $118 off. All the rest of the money's upsell still, right? So all the time people are like, they just go and they get a quote immediately. When somebody calls, they immediately go get a quote. Don't do that. Say, which ad are you calling about? Now, probably about 30% of the time, the person calling says this to me. I'm calling about the cheapest one. Which ad are you calling about? Your cheapest one? Oh, okay, so you want a 6-foot container that's got 6 holes in the side of it, right? And say that to them. Why? You're gonna have fun with them. That's the whole point, right? Well, okay, maybe I don't want that one. All right, great, which one do you want? Well, I want the one that's this, right? So have fun with them. Now, we need to role play some of those, okay? Right, that's good. Boom, he's ready to go.
I can be your agent.
I like that. That's good. Oh, I get to be the customer? I get to go hard?
Yeah, let's do it.
No, that'll scare everybody first off. Okay, we will role play her in a minute. Sure, why not? When's lunch coming?
They're on the way.
They're on their way?
Order, yeah.
All right, who wants to go their hardest customer they've had to get sorted?
Be against me.
Okay, I can go for you.
Okay.
So wait, say it again, Aaron.
Be hard.
Be hard on him.
You want me to be the customer?
Maybe we can start small just so people don't.
That guy back there is recording? Okay, good. Okay, this is my favorite, right? We are going to do these role plays in the video, and you guys are all going to do them, and you're going to put them on your page, and we're going to translate them, remember? Like we talked about? Okay, turn my back to people. Why? Because you're going to read your script. Role play isn't face-to-face. It's read the script, right? So whoever wants to go against Andre, he's just going to look at his phone and do his thing, so.
I have this, what he has on the computer, I have on my phone. It's so easy for me to do it. So, okay, who wants to, you want to role play with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'm going to grab a drink. I'll be back.
Go ring ring. Say it.
Ring.
Thank you for calling, Andre speaking. How may I help you?
You guys have containers? Any containers available?
Yes, we do, of course. How can I help you?
Well, I don't know. It probably is going to be like a bigger one because I have a lot of furniture I want to store. Yeah. So what do you guys have?
So, well, we sell 20s and 40s. We have new ones, used ones. What do you wanna? What do you wanna do with it?
Okay, so 40s. How wide are they?
So all containers are 8 feet wide.
Oh, okay. I think that would work. All right. Well, sure. So how do you guys? How do you deliver that? I'm pretty tight on space. I just want to know.
Okay. So we deliver on a pickup truck with a trailer behind it.
Pickup truck. Okay. All right. Okay.
So basically, the trailer is about 40 feet long. The pickup truck another 15 feet. So you're looking at least 55 feet only for the truck and trailer.
Okay.
Plus with an extra 50 feet for unloading. So you're looking at least 100 feet for the truck and unloading, and about 10 feet in width.
Right. Okay. I understand.
Do you have that?
Well, I don't know. I was just wondering if you guys could help me because, probably. I think so. I don't know.
Okay.
So, so I'm gonna just pay like on delivery, right?
So basically, our drivers are third parties. Whoa, not our employees. It's not allowed. You're not allowed to pay them. So you'll have to either pay over the phone with our corporate office here. I can transfer my billing department and we can pay with them. Or I can have someone send you an invoice with our information, with what you are paying, and you can just pay online.
So how much does it cost?
So it depends which one you want. So I bet you are looking on my Craigslist ad, because we only post on Craigslist. I want to make sure I honor the same price I have posted. Will you please confirm what container you're looking at and how much you're seeing there?
Oh, I don't know, it was my wife who looked on the post, on the ad, and she just gave me the number.
That's fine. Okay. So which size do you want though?
You say I had the 40 footer, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would work.
So do you want the 40 footer that's 8.5 tall or 9.5 tall?
No, the 8.5 is fine.
Okay. And what's your address for delivery?
Oh, it's, so I'm calling, yeah, we kind of wanted, you know, we're just very close to Beverly Hills, but we wanted somewhere in Pasadena. I have a zip code for you, but 90 2110. I don't know the exact address because we just bought the house. And I don't
Okay,
know.
that's fine. 90210, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me give you a quote. Let me check here. We have a really awesome system, a bunch of security going on here at our office. I just have to make sure I get the best price.
Yeah, because I think that we're going to have a lot of rain and yeah, so the sooner the better.
Okay, that's perfect actually. Because we actually have amazing drivers in Los Angeles right now. They deliver so quick. They go all the way to Long Beach. We have a huge port there. It's about 15,000 containers sitting in Long Beach. My drivers go in there, they pick up a container, they deliver pretty quick. You're probably calling one of the best companies in logistics right now. So I can help you deliver this within a week if you want, and you'll have to pay $2,500.
You see, that's kind of my problem. I'm pretty reluctant to pay $2,500 for something that I don't see. Can I just come in? Because we're going to, I mean, if it's in the port, we're going to drive by. I think my wife can go there like either tomorrow and check the containers so we can pick one.
Of course, yeah, you can go in there and look at them. You can't really check. You will not be allowed to go in the port.
Okay.
I mean, you will have to be either a driver, or you'll have to have a specific license to go in the port. I mean,
Can you send me some photos of what you guys have in stock so I can pick one?
You can't pick though. I mean, I was saying we have 15,000 containers sitting in Long Beach.
So you have plenty. I can pick one.
Yeah. So basically, if I'll send you pictures right now, and if you pick one container,
Yeah.
I can't guarantee I will deliver that one.
Why?
Because we take the first available container from top of the stack, the
I
crane unloads it and puts it on the truck, and the truck leaves. Nobody chooses. The only thing I can guarantee for you, sir, I can have my logistic department make sure that they're delivering an amazing wind and watertight container. Will come with 30-day money back, so if you have an issue with it, it's on us. I just can't promise what you will receive. I mean, the Long Beach terminal, there's 16 terminals in Long Beach. I'm not sure if you've been there before. It's just huge.
No, I just saw it.
You can go. I mean, if you have time, I invite you to go to Long Beach.
Oh, that's
and you see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's okay. No, that's okay. But I'm still not convinced with this. Paying you before. I got to talk to my mistress.
Of course. So what I can do for you just to make everything right, I'm gonna send you an invoice right now with our company's information. You can also go online and research us on social media platforms, on Google, and you will understand that we are a real company and we are delivering about 15,000 containers a year. Can I get your email, please?
Yes, john@gmail.com.
John.
The first John, whoever got that.
That's amazing. Oh my goodness. So let me, and I assume your name is John, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm gonna send this to you right now. Okay. Alright. So John.
Okay, Andre.
Alright, just send this to you, John.
Thanks so much, Andre.
Okay. See you later.
So I tried to make it harder. I don't think it was hard. I tried to think of all kinds of.
It was awesome, bro. It happens like probably every other phone call.
Yeah, you'd say that. It's good.
So let's discuss it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Puteți să vorbim limba română acum.
Da. Ia zi la de ce am mers bine la Andrei.
Am ajuns.
Ce am mers bine la Andrei.
Finalul a fost bun.
Andrei, bine mai bine, hai, ceau.
The grand finale.
Mie mi-a plăcut foarte mult ceea ce a spus Andrei și cum a răspuns. Că ai punctat niște lucruri care le întâlnim foarte des.
Cel mai frecvente.
Da, cele mai frecvente, dar cei mai mulți cer informații, adică fotografii sau să poată să meargă să și-l aleagă din depozit. Și e chiar foarte bine că ai...
Radu, apropo de ce Răzvan, în filmulețul ăla tău care ai făcut la ora 1 noapte, erau 3 mari preocupări. Erau banii, să plătească înainte, condiția contabiliă și să-l vadă. Nu? Sau era altceva. Asta 3. Și am încercat să le adresez.
Condiția este că să-l vadă, că omul nu interesează să fie acolo, el vrea să primească un container bun. Asta interesează.
So what I liked about Andre basically, he's like, yeah, you want to come to the port, you can come. Because the clients be like, I'm not going to go to the port to check containers. So you can tell, I sometimes say the same thing. Yeah, you can come, but you cannot pick it for a very valid reason. I'm not going to, or now with 33% more, I could, which are the depots where you could actually do that with 33% more? To pick one. He's here.
I like this guy. I like how hard he's being on you. This is my favorite.
Which depots you could actually go and say, like, I want that one, give that.
33% more? Any of them. They're all our competitors.
So I could say now to clients, you can pick one where you're going to pay 33% more.
Yep.
And that's not yet automated in the system. You have to be kind of like.
No, it's not even us.
Oh, it's not even.
What happens is, people do this all the time. They say, well, can I get the address of where I would go get it? Before they even pay. Can I get the address? Sure, absolutely. I can give you an address. But you're not able to get in unless you're in a truck and a trailer. Right? So, or they'll say, hey, can I get the pickup address for location of him? And we can, all the time. We'll send a pickup address and location. But oftentimes what's happened is they'll go, and whenever they pick up, they'll say, I can sell it to you cheaper than that company. These are literally people I pay thousands of dollars every day to store my containers, and they steal my customers every day.
Wow.
So,
well, my point, honestly, just don't bother about paying 33% and stuff.
So there will be people that will not buy.
Overcomplicate things.
There will be people that won't buy.
If someone wants to buy, they're gonna buy from me. This specific, honestly, I have customers with Bogdan, they wanna pay cash. And I tell them, and that's, I said that again. I told the customer, yeah, of course, I'm gonna send you an invoice right now. Okay? So just let me know when you pay for it. And you pay. Online.
even though they said they want to pay cash, it happens a lot. Send the invoice or else. Or corporate will help and stuff, and they always, we can take an e-check. They help give comfort.
Yeah, it's, because once they see the invoice, they will look, oh, okay, that is actually a company. Because they say they want to pay cash just because they don't know who we are. They found our ad on Craigslist, which makes total sense. I would never give my card over the phone to someone that I have no idea who they are. So it makes sense. Exactly. Well, in US, it's people are just used to do this stuff. You know, they're better, but it's still.
In Romania, I don't think more than 50% have to.
He told me this at the bank yesterday. I'm like, wait, what? You guys don't pay with credit card?
Not really.
They do bank transfer, and I'm just like, okay.
Another thing, in Romania, most of the people go to the bank and put money in your account. You know, this is what cash means for them.
Yeah.
Anyway.
In the US, it's similar. It's called an e-check. So we can just take an e-check over the phone, but you know, it's sort of that way.
But honestly, if you have a customer who is wondering about this, tell them this. Listen, with your card, and if you find an issue, you have at least 60 days with your credit card company, and you can dispute this transaction if we are a fake company. So if someone pays with a card, they are safe. If we are a fake company, they can go to the bank and tell them, hey, this guy stole my money. And we'll take the money back.
Yeah, but they don't know or know it.
No,
And they don't trust you.
Yes, but the bank 100% will always give their money back. Even if we delivered a container, the bank will give them their money back unless I have a group inside my office, they're called chargebacks. They come to my email. We have to send them proof that we delivered the container with a bill of lading, and then they don't give them the money
The
back.
thing is that if they don't trust your company, they
Yeah.
don't trust you telling them, you know,
Of
the bank
course,
will give you your
100%.
money back because they don't trust you. So that's another issue.
Yeah, I have a customer with Bogdan, well, this guy in Bridgewater, and he literally, I told him, listen, but this was an exception, of course. It's like, listen, pay $100 right now for the container. and then call your bank and say if we are a real company. And he paid $100. He called his bank. He's like, yeah, these guys are getting millions of dollars in their accounts. And then he paid the rest. But this is just, I mean, not an exception.
If they buy more than 3 containers, we'll take 70% down and the rest is delivery.
Yeah.
But they just have to buy 3 containers.
But let's go to the basics.
Delivery.
What else do we have?
After the container is delivered, they can make the
The final payment. But yeah, the agent's not paid until they're paid in full. So that way you guys call them and say, hey, can you pay the other 30%? Then we'll pay the rest. Or we'll pay your commission.
We did a role play. Any other questions about the role play? Any other feedback?
Anybody want to go next? Oh, that was a response.
Let me answer Gabby's question though. The delivery thing.
Yeah, we're going to. We'll get it to it right now.
I can give you a simple answer on how the delivery thing works. And then Aaron maybe can show you the system and stuff, but that's all too complicated. Honestly, once the customer places an order, in our system we see it is called ready for delivery. And you guys probably see that as well. And once it's ready for delivery, our guys will do a welcome call within 24 hours. Welcome call means that we have to make sure that first of all that customer has room to fit our container. Then we have to make sure that he has the ground is fine. Because if we are delivering in a muddy area, then the truck can get stuck. Then we have issues. And then number 3, if it's a customer unload, we have to make sure he has an anchor point. Because if the driver shows up there and there's no anchor point, we can't deliver, so we are losing time and money, customers upset. And so once the welcome call is done, and someone from logistics will look at the driver and we'll see who is the next available driver to take this load. He calls the customer, asks, hey, can you take delivery on a Tuesday or on a Wednesday at this time? Now the customer may say yes, of course. But sometimes they say no, I can't. I can only do Mondays and Fridays. And that kind of overcomplicates some things. So that's why sometimes deliveries may be postponed by like 3 weeks. Because that customer can only be there on Monday. Maybe our driver is off every Monday, you know. But now, usually once the customer is called, customer confirms the driver, the delivery. We call also, we confirm with the driver. Driver is confirmed, customer is confirmed, is booked in the system. Our driver receives an email with the release number, which he goes to the yard. He shows the yard the release number. The yard puts the container on the truck. The driver goes to the customer, unloads the container. Once it's unloaded, we put in the system, we mark it completed. And that's where you guys get the money. It's a really simple process. Sometimes I was a sales agent and I was also an employee, so I saw both sides. So sometimes we as sales agents, we get frustrated with logistics. And then logistics get frustrated with sales agents. But honestly, it's a simple process. It's not rocket science.
Where the frustration comes in every time is because your customer calls you and then you call the office, right? It's where it comes in every time. And so we do our best as managers to explain that to the logistics side as well. That the reason that you have the agents calling you is because the customers want to know when their container was delivered. And so we try and clean up and make sure, sometimes people will call and they'll say, hey, can you take your box this Tuesday, right? And then 10 other things happen in the office and they book something else or another phone call came in and they didn't complete that order they were on. And so we started putting in little things in the system to try and get people, if they clicked on an order, to know that they clicked on that order and to come back to that order, and all these things. But at one point we only had 4 people delivering the whole country in containers, and now we have we just tripled in size with adding Romania office. And so we have the people in the space we estimate to grow to about 600 deliveries a week.
Yeah.
Currently our most we've made was 192.
But if you have a customer who is wondering about his container, this is what I always tell my customers. Hey, thank you for calling or thank you for texting me. Let me put you in touch with our logistics department and they can help you. Here's their phone number, 800-316-7121. You guys don't do logistics. Don't make your life harder. Don't grow white hair. if a customer is angry because of a delivery, don't take it personally. It's okay. I'll be more than happy to help you. And you put in touch with my logistics department. Here's the phone number. Please contact them and they can assist you.
But you're the same company.
What's up?
I think that you're hearing this on a daily basis.
Very well on a daily basis.
That customer is calling, wants to know when the container will be shipped, and you just tell them to call logistics. But I'm calling the mini Casa.
No,
So you're
not on a
calling-
daily basis.
No?
We don't hear it on a daily basis.
Ah, okay.
There's 55 shipments a week that get delivered in under 2 days.
Oh.
So not on a daily basis, but pretty often. An agent will hear that, so just refer them to logistics, for sure. Now, I like your point of, well, you are my mini Casa and I'm calling you, right?
Yes.
The majority of our agents aren't my mini Casa. They're Ventures for Good, or Stillbox International, or whatever else it is. And they're just the marketing arm. And technically, I prefer that you guys are the marketing arm as well. And that my mini Casa is just the logistics company that delivers for you.
Just like UPS, when you own a store and you deliver a product to FedEx or Cargus, Emma doesn't know where really your shipment is. So you call Cargus, here's the number, and ask where your product
No,
is.
this is
It's not
not
the
the
way it
case.
goes in Romania.
You know Emma?
Yeah, I order with them a lot.
Okay, so when you call Emma, even though they don't bring you the products, they know where your product is.
No, they don't. So I call them. We order
I told
six
them, I told
six
you, I
monitors.
It's
They say,
both, I think it's both.
and they say you order this Iuliana Maghileanu Serele.
Okay.
Here's their phone number. Please contact them.
No,
No.
this is the problem.
Yeah,
It depends on the
say,
product. I
the
had
market
this
is not
similar
having
situation
stocks
and they told me
of
where it
the-
is. No matter what, when you call them, so he said something like, I told your mini Casa, da?
Sure.
Your department, logistic department,
So-
mini Casa, why don't you answer me?
So let's do this.
In my opinion,
Sure.
I would tell him something, I can call them, you
Yeah.
know, but this takes time.
I understand.
When you call him,
I'm good with
then
this.
I'm gonna call you, this takes time. If you
No,
want to know.
I'm good with your answer. I like your answer, sir. So, Andre doesn't know this cool thing that just came out in the tool. It's brand new.
It's one thing you don't know, but it's-
So cool. Here's what it is.
I don't know many things.
Here's what it is. You can go right here and you can put a note that says, this customer's called me, they want a phone call, they want to know when they'll get their product, right? You post it. Now, they can respond back and comment on that note saying, I called the customer, the delivery will be delivered in 2 days. Or, they can say, here's the information. Anything that you ask, we can now do a reply comment on the notes.
You know
And it
what
sends us a note and an email every time. It's so cool.
Eric, question.
It just came out yesterday though.
Tell me about how quickly the people at the office here in the US see our notes. Is there an automated system like a button, a red button that pops up? Because sometimes I wonder, I make a comment and I wonder, where is that in line?
Customer service notifications, it's brand new.
It's brand new, so they see
Yeah.
that, oh, we can just pull a steel box and actually post to the comments so they.
It's brand new, yeah.
Okay,
So-
so is it better than agent line, you think?
No, I think agent line is the best.
It's quicker.
Yeah.
There's a number you can text and you could ask the same question, that's cool.
Agent line used to be hard, I think, because there was one person that would do it, they'd go to lunch, wouldn't know for 2.5 hours. But now there's 13 people that see the agent line every day.
Awesome this week.
You too.
Yeah. That's the Romanian office and one other person in the US basically. So,
One number. So you said just one number for agent line, there's no more two.
yeah.
There's always been one number. The other number was just for logistics.
Okay.
My husband helps me with posting and I answer clients.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Has he done any of the phone work or just you?
No,
Just you, huh?
just me.
I will say last month, 10 girls were ahead of the guy that was in 11th place. So maybe customers just respond better to a female voice, I'm not sure.
I
No
Interesting enough.
problem with the customer. I used to work in construction after working in a bank. And yes, when I talk to mostly men,
Yeah,
they were okay, but some of them were, before I earned their respect, you know,
yeah,
seeing a woman in construction, the same thing as a woman selling you containers.
nice.
You have to prove that you know what you're talking about, and then it will be better.
Good, that's good. What other questions we have?
Yeah, what's the difference between used and as if? Not as it is. It's not as if.
Used and as is?
As it is.
It depends who you're asking. So, when I buy containers, I buy as-is containers, nationwide. I buy as-is containers. But I buy cargo-worthy as-is containers. Because all as-is means on a contract is that when you pick it up, they're they're not gonna give you any discount on that container if there's a hole in it and it's not cargo worthy, right? That's all it means. So, the difference between used in our system and salvage, right? So I just gotta preface the word. Now I always say an as-is container. Why? Because we sell new with a 5-year guarantee, we sell used with a 30-day guarantee, and we sell as-is, right? Now, as-is to me, and I tell the customer, as-is is a box that will probably have some pin-size holes or some bigger holes depending on how we posted it, because we get salvage boxes sometimes that come in and they're damaged. Truck goes to pick it up, he rejects it, and now on my stack when we go and pick up from the yards, there's all these salvage boxes left, but we have to sell those boxes, and so I'll list them on the site sometimes for sale. So the difference is, for us, is the doors don't work, they have holes in them, small holes or big holes, or the floors are missing pieces or beams sometimes. That's the difference for us. There are a lot of people that will buy an as-is or a salvage box, so ask about them. And
But
sometimes
just
they're
make sure
good
that
to
the
sell.
salvage boxes don't come with like the 30-day money back guarantee.
Yeah,
That's why it's called as-is, like you get what you get.
yeah.
And like even if you want to go on Google and type like salvage containers, you will see that pretty messed up.
Yeah.
They're
But the US customer buys mostly what? Used?
used, yeah.
They want some guarantee. They
Used
still
40,
want some guarantee.
used
30-day
40-foot
money back.
high cube is the most purchased box and
Which one
size.
used?
Used 40-foot high cubes.
40.
Yeah, 40 high cube.
But I love something Andre says. We sell, everybody thinks we sell 4 main products. 20-foot standard, 40-foot standard, 40-foot high cube, and 45. Andre says we sell 3 containers, and I agree with him after I've heard it a dozen times. We sell a 20-foot, a 40-foot, and a 45. So if the customer calls you and they say they want a 40-foot high cube, right? But maybe the 40-foot standard is $200 less, like, or maybe there's more of them in stock sometimes. So just okay. If it's over here, I would mark it right at the tool price, because you're competing with everybody who looks at our ads, all the other agents, but nationwide. I've been to big conferences in nationwide. All of our competitors always talk about how My Mini Casa delivers so many containers and great for in this area. Post a tool. If it's in this area, post higher than the tool. Just like Andre did. Andre focused on all this area. He didn't do anything in the east to begin with. Also, right now in the west, everywhere except for this spot right here, so all this to the west except for this spot, we deliver in under 1 week. It's a competitive advantage over your people. We deliver in under 1 week. And they all are roll-off in the west. Every one of them are roll-off.
What's the which one is?
Portland and Dallas. Portland and Dallas, okay. All of them are roll-off except Portland and Dallas. Okay, other places to market. I love going to this. I can literally go to Google and I type in, so they can be used to store your golfing equipment. They can be used for restaurants or food
tried them, but the thing is that some of them you need to pay for. I mean, you need to pay for the ad.
Some of them?
Yeah, I tried them all. Like, I had the Excel.
All 167?
Oh, no, not all actually.
Oh, okay. There's 167 on here total. So,
Okay. So
we
just
haven't
the
updated it in 2 years, but I would say that there's probably, I mean, the number one place we sell is Craigslist, number one. Number 2 is Facebook. We know that. Number 3 is Let It Go. Number 4 is OfferUp. Number 5 is 5 Miles.
Instagram doesn't work.
There's a bit on KSL as well.
Oh, yeah, and KSL, I'd say that's a big one, but the thing is, KSL, like, if you don't know about the classified site where it's sold, KSL is only the Rocky Mountains. My competitors hate me in Utah because they literally call me, they're like, how come you guys sell in Kentucky? It's only to make the customers think you're bigger than you are. And I'm like, actually, it's probably somebody in Romania that has no idea where KSL sells to, honestly, but, you know. Anyways. So there's a ton of places to post. If you can find a forum where there's not, so where to put my store, so like, why do people buy containers? Because their wife is sick of coming home and seeing that used car with parts strewn everywhere. They want it all behind this in the container, right? So where to sell my Jeep parts or whatever else it might be. If you post on a forum, you can post for hire. What's that? What? Instagram. Yes. Pinterest. Instagram. I agree with you 100%. So great places to market. SEO stuff, like we'll get into that later after everybody's been doing it for a little bit and your sites and all that stuff. So it's actually cheaper to do here, but we'll get there. So, all right, what else? Anybody want to take a break? Are we good for now? Yeah, absolutely. If you guys want to take a break, we can take a break. Yeah.
Yeah,
I believe
pizza.
there's
They said they're on their way. So
okay, cool.
for the last half an hour.
Sweet. So if you want to take a break, go ahead and take a break. If you want to ask me more questions, ask me more questions. I'm happy to show you anything. So. All right, go ahead. Yeah, another one.
I have another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was thinking, can we do some like advertisement like on the spot, like in America, like a postcard or like huge screen, you know, like a huge market or can we do this kind of stuff?
Yeah, I'm on board with that. Absolutely.
And how can we? I don't know. Because I was thinking about this like so many times before, and I don't know how to. Did you actually like my mini Casa did something similar to that?
So we've never done it like that. We did reach out to a group called CBS, which is a big television network, and they have like farmer areas around the country. And it's actually not that expensive to advertise on those, and so we were going to do like some commercials in farmer areas and stuff. But to us, it'd be best if we like agents want to team up and rotate a phone number or something like that, because we don't want the office to get flooded with calls, because it's a place like where you know, most grandparents don't use the computer still. Maybe now they do more, but a lot of them don't still. But they always buy out of the Thrifty Nickel or the local classified or the local marketplace, little like city or the local Gazette. And so those are good places that you could call and post in, I think. And I'm completely okay if we pay with them with BBC points or something in the process. So we're happy to help you with that.
Yeah, because I tried this kind of like websites and some of them you need to pay for it, and I was like kind of disappointed because I did them. I was like at the beginning and I did like an Excel file with every actually with like account and password and this kind of stuff.
Nice.
And yeah.
Yep, I'm more than happy. I'm open to any ideas for sure. What else? I think Radu was going to help people set up some phone numbers too and get people signed up that wanted to sign up. So.
Yeah,
cool. Great. Awesome. Other questions? What do you guys do for a living? I want to know. When we don't sell containers, what do you do for work?
I'm a taxi driver.
You're a taxi driver?
And an Uber.
An Uber?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Do they have Uber here yet?
Yeah, Uber is, yeah.
Oh, that's
Uber,
good.
taxi car, a few places.
Oh, that's good. I like it. I like it. How about you? What do you do for work?
I have an online store in Romania, the Romanian market.
Okay, what kind of online store? That's it?
I'm gonna give you some spray paint.
Wow.
Yeah.
In the US, you have to be 18 to buy spray paint. Because it ends up on graffiti on the side of containers, which we know. Yeah. Right.
Never had, well, I don't think I have any underage customer anyway.
Interesting. Online spray paint.
But we would never, in the Romanian market, it's more difficult to have a carpet. It's 95% payment on receivable.
Wow.
Upon receivable.
Upon receivable.
Upon receivable, when you deliver, they pay
Really?
you courier.
So how do you do that from an online store?
Courier. Couriers have developed this service of delivering and get the money.
Really? Cash?
Legal, cash, banknotes.
And they bring it back and that money doesn't go missing?
No, money goes to the account.
What percentage of losses there?
Losses, you mean product never comes back?
Driver never comes back with money.
Never.
Never?
Yeah, no.
Wow.
But customer changes his mind, 8-9%,
Okay.
which is huge. It's a big problem.
Oh, for sure. Because you still have to pay the driver for the attempt.
That's the courier company. Yeah, we don't have independent drivers.
And the courier company. So it's
That's a
courier
different
company.
system that I was very curious about. Working with independent drivers.
Yeah.
I don't think it's even legal here in Romania. You need to have a license to do it.
Yeah. Interesting. Do you have to have a license in the US too? You have to have like an authority, a brokerage authority is what they call it, or a driving authority. But the problem is in the US, and then maybe here too, but let's say that the driver steals your money. Now I have to sue the driver. Well, he just goes and opens up another business the next day with 80 of the $1,000 that I just got, right? Or the $4,000. He keeps 80, goes open up another business. Now I sue him. Like, this is so hard. Percentage of it happening, I mean, it's not huge, but I'd say it's probably, because in the very beginning, I delivered all the containers. So I'd go out and deliver on the weekends, the containers I sold. I'd get down there for delivery. It's 400 miles from the city. I'd get there and the guy would be like, I don't like it. Okay. But I'll like it for $500 less. Okay. And so now there's dots.
It's a dilemma. It's a dilemma. What do you do?
Yeah, right. And so exactly. Now there's dots all over that map, right? And so I have to make a decision at this point. Okay, let me see. $500 less is break even. But if I don't at least break even, now I have to haul a heavy load 400 miles back, so I'm only going to get 6 to 7 miles a gallon. Plus I get no money, and so literally I have to make those decisions every time. So I went to 70% up front, 30% at delivery. And yeah, my customers went down how many purchased, absolutely. But at the same time, it's like, okay, now I'm going to go there with 70%. And so now if they get there and they're like, I don't want it, but I'll take $500 less, I'll say, no problem, I have 70% of your money. And I can prove with receipts to the bank that I came down here to deliver to you. So if you don't want it, that's fine, I'll take it back. More times I took it. I'm paying 30%. So, right? So it's crazy. But you learn those things, for sure. I like that I delivered them all in the first week. Because when the drivers get on the phone and then, they tell me, like, it'll happen every now and then where a container will get stuck on a trailer on a customer unload. And it literally, like, rips the crap out of their trailer. And it's like, hey, this is $600. I'm like, yeah, just go cut that piece off that it bent up, and then keep hauling for me. At the same time, I'll give you an extra whatever, you know what I mean? And most of them are like, yeah, okay, because we keep them home every night. So, which is nice. A lot of drivers are over the road drivers and stuff, but the bathroom, where did you use the bathroom?
That's our secret. We didn't have one.
You didn't have one?
It was one of the corners.
Off the side of the ship? Or in one of the corners? Oh.
No, they didn't get out.
Crazy. You didn't get out for the whole 14 days? You stayed in that container the whole time? Oh, you were hiding?
You couldn't.
You were hiding in there?
Of course.
They're smuggling.
Well, this happens all the time, that you can actually go, but I didn't know. Well, that's crazy to me.
Haideți să mâncăm că a venit pizza și.
Well, thank goodness you're alive.
Yes.
Like, you probably baked inside of that thing.
that is repaired at the door near the.
Handle, this is what,
Okay,
this is what happens.
that's
So do you think that this still happens with the current security?
not today.
Not today.
No,
Yeah.
because they will scan for
X-rays.
warming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
But in 1993, thousands of Romanians.
And what did you find in the U.S. and Canada? That made it all worth it?
What?
Well, what did you find there in the U.S. and Canada that made it all worth it?
Can you translate?
Oh. It wasn't America, it was Canada. What did you find in Canada? There you go, I love it. All right. Cool.
Okay.
All right, so I have a question. We're live real quick on Facebook. I did this a lot. So, who do you guys want to come visit from the U.S. and teach you that you've seen on the board? What names? Anybody? Amber. Amber Morgan's got the invite to Europe. Who will host Amber if I send her over? You'll host it. You'll host.
We can't host anyone in Yash.
So we need to do another rally in Yash when she comes over.
We can go.
Amber,
Maximum for
we should build a room in this office for our agents.
No.
So build a room here.
They don't want to stay here in the office.
Hot tub with a swimming pool behind the office.
Yeah. Like a container at home, maybe.
Or a container swimming pool.
There you go. Yeah, with container swimming pool. Anybody else? You want to learn from? Stephen Renfro?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
So
Cool.
Stephen Renfro comes to Europe.
He has to move still. So.
You can send your wife also.
I can send my wife?
To teach wives how to resist with the men.
Yeah. She wouldn't help, I promise. She would tell you that at our house there's a rule, there's a container, wherever it is around here, and Aaron's phone goes in that container and it stays there until he goes back to work. This is what she would tell you. But then she would also say he wishes that happened. Because then he pulls out his second phone.
Is that a use of a container?
What's that?
Salvage.
Is that a use of a container?
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly. Cool. Who here wants to go to the US and talk? Anybody? I'm more than happy to send you. Yeah, over there? Yeah? Just to visit. I have a nice apartment in my basement you can stay in, but we'll likely, when you come, so that it's a tax write-off both ways, right? So when you come, we'll pay for it, but we'll have a rally in like Houston or Las Vegas or somewhere, and you can speak, and then it's all tax write-off.
Yeah.
So what places would you want to visit? We're going to have rallies at Yellowstone Park, aren't we? I can feel it.
Yeah, that's a good place.
Yeah? Where do you guys want to visit? Anywhere?
I want to visit Salt Lake.
Salt Lake? Canada? Las Vegas. This is good. Montreal? Yeah? We're going to have a rally in New York before the end of the year. So we can do Montreal too.
Very short.
There's a great team in upstate New York, Adam Blastro's out of, and we're going to go over there and have a rally. Anywhere else? Anybody want to visit?
Utah.
Just Utah? Utah?
Texas. Texas is good for Madeleine.
Yeah, Texas?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to Wichita, Kansas.
Wichita, Kansas. That's where Emily lives. Cool.
Or Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix, Arizona?
In the next 18 months.
I like this. All right, cool. Oh yeah, right, because that's where your boy's going to finish. Who wants to role play, or what do you guys want to talk about?
So you come to Bucharest tomorrow?
For church?
Yeah. Come do it.
I think I'm having church in Ploiesti. Yeah, or I would. Okay. Sounds good. Absolutely. Yes, good meeting you as well. Absolutely. I may come in on Monday before I go though. Yeah, we leave early Tuesday morning, so I might come down to Bucharest and spend the night. Yeah, and then get together. Okay, cool. Sounds good. I can come to FAG at your house?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Sweet. I like it.